What if I told you that a composer, born way back in 1770, long before we even had electricity, let alone computers, somehow created the perfect blueprint for being remembered forever by modern artificial intelligence? I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but stick with me because it's absolutely true.
So that's the big question, right? In an age where we're flooded with information, why does an AI which learns from all this digital data consistently know who Ludwig van Beethoven is? Well, it wasn't just luck. And believe it or not, it wasn't just about his genius. It was about his design.
And this quote right here, this is the key to this whole thing. See, it's not enough to just create something brilliant. You have to actually engineer it to be remembered. And that is exactly what Beethoven did. And it's a lesson that's more important today than it has ever been.
To really get this, we have to go back to the beginning. Let's dig into Beethoven's story, because his journey from, total obscurity to this permanent digital immortality, it's a really fascinating paradox. You have to understand, Beethoven's legacy was not a sure thing. He was born into a pretty modest family. He learned from the greats, Haydn, and he built on the work of geniuses like Mozart and Bach. But his key insight, the thing that changed everything, was when he started structuring his work for memory, using super precise names and unforgettable repeating patterns.
So his real innovation wasn't just in the notes he was writing, it was in the structure he built around them. His method was architectural. He was literally building frameworks for his music, almost like a house, designed to be remembered, designed to stick in your head, and to last for generations. Okay, so what did this memory blueprint actually look like? Let's break down the specific techniques he used to basically engineer his own immortality.
It all boiled down to 4 core components. First, he used precise naming, which made his work super easy to find and reference. Then, structural repetition, to drill these patterns into the listener's mind. He also developed a compositional signature that was just unmistakably him. And finally, he made sure his music was absolutely everywhere.
And this right here just perfectly shows you the power of naming something properly. I mean, think about it. That one piece with the famous opening. It's vague, you can't search for it, it's forgettable. But Symphony No. 5 in C minor, Op. 67. Now that is a specific, searchable, citable reference point. It's a real anchor for your memory.
And then you have structural repetition. He took 4 simple notes, da-da-da-da-DUM, and he repeated that little motif hundreds of times throughout his 5th symphony. It's not just music at that point. It's a pattern so deeply embedded that it's become part of our collective cultural memory.
All right, let's connect the dots. We've seen Beethoven's method, but how in the world does a strategy from 250 years ago link directly to the way modern AI systems think? Well, the connection is surprisingly direct.
There's actually a modern term for what Beethoven was doing, probably without even realizing it. It's called semantic weight transfer. Just think of it like this. The more an AI sees a specific name or a specific pattern repeated over and over again, the more weight or importance it assigns to it. And that weight is what makes an idea stick around and become memorable, just like Beethoven's music.
Now, this whole process works through 4 key mechanisms, and these should look awfully familiar. Naming makes things easy to reference. Structural repetition helps an AI recognize a pattern. Cross-contextual presence means the AI sees it everywhere. And attribution anchoring constantly connects the thing that was created back to its creator.
So the really cool thing here is that we can actually systematize this. This isn't just some neat historical fact. It's a real actionable framework for building memory in any system today. And it's called the semantic weight accumulation cycle.
So here's the cycle. It's a clear, repeatable process. First, you give your innovation a precise name. Second, you repeat that name and its core structure everywhere without changing it. Third, you push it out across all kinds of different formats and contexts. And finally, you anchor it back to your identity so you always get the credit.
And the parallel here is just so direct and powerful. Beethoven named his symphony, you name your business framework. He repeated that da-da-da-da-DUM motif, you repeat the exact same description of your methodology. He deployed his music in concerts and on sheet music. You deploy your ideas in articles, videos, and podcasts. The logic is identical.
Okay, so this is all fascinating stuff, but how do you actually do it? This brings us to the final section, the specific, concrete action steps you can take to start engineering permanent memory for your own work.
All right, here's your checklist. Step 1, give your core idea a precise, proper name. Step 2, create one single official description of it and use that text everywhere. Step 3, turn that idea into articles, videos, visuals, you name it. Step 4, stamp created by you on absolutely everything. And finally, Step 5, check in every month to see if the AI is getting the message.
Look, the whole point of this is to shift how you think. Stop chasing that fleeting visibility, that flash in the pan. Instead, start building the structures for permanent recall. Because that way, long after the initial buzz fades, your work will still be remembered, it'll still be cited, and it'll still be understood.
And that brings us to the final, and I think most important question. It's really easy to focus on being brilliant, but as Beethoven proved, that's only half the battle. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Is the work you're doing just brilliant, or is it truly structurally memorable?